Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. It is wonderful to have you with us today as we dive into a passage that is both profound and incredibly practical for our daily lives. We're going to be exploring Proverbs chapter 6, specifically verses 16 through 29. This section offers some powerful wisdom about the things God finds detestable and gives us a very vivid warning against straying from a path of integrity. So grab your Bible, a notebook, and a cup of coffee, and let's journey through this text together. Let's start with verses 16 through 19. The writer gives us a very clear numbered list. It says, "There are 6 things the Lord hates, 7 that are detestable to him." This isn't just a casual list, it's a list of things that deeply offend the very character of God. What are they? Haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked schemes, feet that are quick to rush into evil, a false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. Let's break that down. Haughty eyes, that's pride, arrogance, looking down on others. It's the root of so many other problems because it puts ourselves in the place of God. Then, a lying tongue and a false witness. Notice how deception is mentioned twice. Honesty and truth are foundational to God's kingdom. Lies create chaos, break trust, and distort reality. They are the complete opposite of God, who is truth itself. Next, we have hands that shed innocent blood. This is a direct attack on the sanctity of life, which God holds as sacred. Following that is a heart that devises wicked schemes. This points to the premeditated nature of sin. It's not just about the act itself, but the internal factory of our hearts that produces these plans. Similarly, feet that are quick to rush into evil speaks of an eagerness to do wrong, a heart that finds pleasure in mischief rather than righteousness. Finally, and this one is so important for all of us in our families, workplaces, and churches, a person who stirs up conflict in the community. Unity is precious to God. Someone who deliberately sows discord, spreads gossip, or creates division is actively working against God's desire for his people to live in harmony. When you look at this list, you see a pattern. These aren't just random rules. They are actions and attitudes that tear apart the fabric of relationship, our relationship with God, and our relationships with each other. They destroy trust, peace, and love. Now the passage shifts gears slightly from verse 20 onward. It transitions from this list of detestable things to a beautiful and fatherly plea. Verse 20 says, "My son, keep your father's command and do not forsake your mother's teaching." This isn't just about obeying your parents. It's a metaphor for embracing the wisdom passed down through generations, the wisdom that ultimately comes from God. He's inviting us to hold on to this guidance. Look at the imagery used here. Bind them always on your heart. Fasten them around your neck. This isn't a restrictive chain, it's like wearing a precious jewel. The wisdom of God is meant to be a constant companion, something we treasure and keep close. Why? Because it guides us. Verse 22 says, "When you walk, they will guide you. When you sleep, they will watch over you. When you awake, they will speak to you." This wisdom is active. It's a lamp for our feet and a light for our path, illuminating the way forward and protecting us from hidden dangers, day and night. The following verses then zoom in on one specific danger, the temptation of adultery, which serves as a powerful illustration of the destructive nature of all sin. The warning is stark and practical. The passage warns against being captivated by outward beauty that hides a corrupt heart. It makes a very interesting comparison in verses 25 and 26. It contrasts a common prostitute with the adulterous woman, saying she preys on your very life. The point is that giving in to this kind of temptation isn't just a small mistake. It's a life-altering, soul-endangering decision. It has a cost that goes far beyond the immediate moment. To make this point even more vivid, the writer uses 2 brilliant analogies. Verse 27. Can a man scoop fire into his lap without his clothes being burned? Verse 28. Can a man walk on hot coals without his feet being scorched? The answer to both is an obvious and resounding no. The writer is essentially saying, do you really think you can play with sin and not get hurt? It's a law of nature. If you play with fire, you will get burned. It's not a maybe, it's a certainty. The consequences of disregarding God's wisdom are just as certain. The passage concludes by applying this fire analogy directly. So is he who sleeps with another man's wife. No one who touches her will go unpunished. The consequences are severe and unavoidable. It's not about God waiting to zap you with a lightning bolt. It's about the natural, built-in consequences of actions that violate God's design for life and relationships. Sin brings ruin, wounds, and disgrace that are hard, if not impossible, to erase. It destroys trust, families, and one's own soul. So, what is the big takeaway for us today from Proverbs 6? First, we need to take sin seriously, especially the heart attitudes mentioned in the first list. Pride, deceit, and causing division are not small matters in God's eyes. We should regularly examine our own hearts and ask God to purify us from these things. Are our eyes haughty? Is our tongue truthful? Do we promote peace or stir up trouble? Second, God's wisdom is our greatest protection. It's not a list of rules meant to restrict our fun. It's a loving parent's guidance designed to lead us into a full, safe, and abundant life. We need to actively bind it on our hearts. This means spending time in His Word, meditating on it, praying over it, and letting it shape our thoughts, decisions, and actions every single day. Finally, the warning about fire is a timeless truth. We cannot flirt with temptation and expect to walk away unharmed. Whether the temptation is lust, greed, gossip, anger, or anything else, we must treat it like hot coals. Flee from it. Don't try to manage it or see how close you can get without getting burned. Instead, run towards the safety and guidance of God's commands. This passage is a beautiful call to a life of integrity, wisdom, and holiness, not out of fear, but out of a loving relationship with our Creator, who knows what is best for us. Let's choose to walk in His light, guided by His wisdom, so that we can avoid the fire and experience the true peace and security that comes only from Him. Thank you so much for joining me today to reflect on these powerful verses. I hope this was encouraging and thought-provoking for you. If you found value in this discussion, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. It really helps us reach more people. May God bless you and keep you this week. See you next time.